This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. Today we will look into a use case on how we can leverage the LWC component to update the contact records in Salesforce. Let's say there are a greater number of fields in contact object and the sales reps have to update only a set of fields regularly to keep the contact information up to date. They cannot edit a contact record and find the fields that they need to update all the time. They are looking for an easier approach to update only a few set of fields, often among the high number of fields on the contact page layout. So for this one, I'm coming up with a solution which says that we can create an action button and display a pop-up window to show the users only the set of fields they need to update regularly instead of editing the entire record to find the fields and make the necessary changes. I'm using the LWC component to add this action to create a button and open the pop-up window to update an existing record. So once the solution is completed, we should see the button on the contact page layout as update contact info. And when user clicks on this button, they can see a pop-up window with certain fields that we are seeing in this screen. Now I'll go back to the IDE tool. So I'm using the IntelliJ component, IntelliJ IDE tool to do the LWC coding part. So as part of first step, we have to create a new LWC component. So I'm going to create the LWC component, and I will name it as update contact details. And once we provide the details and click on OK, it will create the required application here. And as we can see here, it created two files. One is the JavaScript file where we write the required JavaScript coding, and the HTML where we can build the required template for the pop-up, and the metadata component to provide the details on where we need to add the pages, where we need to add the button on the Salesforce level. So I'll start with the metadata file initially. So on this one, we need to add the target. So we need to mention where we want to display this LWC component. As we discussed in our example, we need to add this record on the record level. So our target should be record action. So I'm going to select the record action option. So after this, we need to add the target config, which talks about what type of record action that we need. In this example, we need to show up a pop-up window. So I'm going to select the action type as screen action. So we need to provide the required details here. The action type has to be screen action. So with this setup, this component is ready to use it on the record level as a screen action. So I'm just gonna save these details. So now we're ready with the metadata file. So once this is done, as a first step, so our use case is we need to show a toast event. So for that's the reason we're going to import the show toast event from the Lightning components. So here I'm going to mention the show toast event. This is from, and here we need to mention the Lightning platform show toast event. So I'm going to select this one. And also we're going to add a close button. So Salesforce has a internal closed action screen component, so we can import that one as part of our requirement. So that component will come from the lightning actions. So once we import these two, as a first step, we need to mention the record ID here. So we will say it as API record ID. So as we mentioned, it has at API, we need to import that component as well from LWC. So after this, we have to mention the object API name also, because we need to pass the details to the HTML page in this example. So API object API name. So once we have these two details, now we are going to create a method which gets called when we click on the save button on the UI level. So I'm just going to name the method as handle success. Now on this method, we need to dispatch an event for the close action screen. So I'm just going to say it as this dot dispatch event, and I'm going to call the close screen event method here. And after that, we'll have one more dispatch event to manage the to show the toast message. Here I'm just going to say new show toast event, and the toast event will accept three parameters. So the first one is the title. So I'm just going to give the title as success, and the message as contact record updated. And the variant has to, I'm going to make it as success to see the success message in the green color. So after this, we can just add one more method for the close action button. I'm just going to create a new method called close action, and this one I'm going to dispatch the closed event screen one. So with this, we are ready in the JS side. So once this gets saved, then we can start to work on the HTML component. So this is saved. I'm going back to the HTML component. So here, as I mentioned that we have to create a screen component, I'm going to use the Lightning Quick Action panel here to manage the UI level details. So on the Lightning Quick Action panel, we can add the header to show which header that we want to display. So I'm just gonna make the header details as update contact fields. So on this, we need to add the required fields that we need to show up. So before that, we need to mention the Lightning record edit form as well, because we need to display those fields in the edit mode. So I'm gonna call the Lightning record edit form here, and we need to pass some of the required parameters. So the first one is the record ID, and we already declared it in the JS file. So this field will pass the record ID, and as a second parameter, we need to pass the object API name. So in our case, the object API name also we declared in the JS file, and once it got success, then we need to call this the success method also. Here. So here we are going to call the handle success. So instead of the Lightning record edit form, we are going to add the required fields here. So Lightning input field because we are going to add 4 fields. So I'm going to take the first name, last name, phone, comment. So the first field I'm going to add the first name. So we need to mention the API names of the fields here. So first name. I'm going to copy this one. 2, 3, 4 fields. So the second field has to be the last name. Next one is title. And next field is the phone field. So we declared all the 4 fields that we need for the edit option. So after this, I'm going to create 2 buttons here. So the first button I'm going to create it as the cancel button. So for this one, just going to select the variant as neutral, so you don't show up any color on the button level. I'm going to give the label as cancel. And when the user perform the on click, I'm going to call the close action button. So this helps us to close the pop-up completely. Then I'm going to add another button that is for the saving the record. And I'm going to declare the variant as brand. So this one will show the button in blue color. Therefore, save. And I'll just add a CSS class on top of this one. So it's gonna be I'm gonna use this CSS class, and the type has to select, and type is gonna be submit button. Then I'm just gonna close this one. So with this thing, we complete the coding part, and we are ready to go back to the Salesforce and create the required button in the UI level. So let me see. So this got saved. So I'm going back to the Salesforce. This is my contact object. I'm going to create a new button. So we need to click on the buttons links and click on the new action button. So here we need to select the Lightning Web component. And in our use case, we are using the update contact details. That is the LWC component that we just created. And I'll give the label as update contact info. And we need to click on the save button. So we are successfully created the quick action for the contact object. Now we'll go back to the contact object again to add the button in the page layout. So we'll go back to the contact page layout. So this is the page layout that we are using it. So for the page layout, there is an option called mobile and lightning actions. We need to click on that one and take the update contact info button and add it under Salesforce mobile and lightning experience actions. So once we add the details here, and we'll go back and click on the save button. So with this, we are ready with adding the button in the page layout as well. I'll go back to the test record that we are going to test, and just refresh the page to see the button on the page layout. So as we can see, the page layout got updated, and it's the button called update contact info here. So let's give it a try. So when we click on this button, as we can see here, that it is showing us the fields that we added in the LWC component. So in this example, we're going to update the last name for the user, the title, and we'll fill the phone number also. And when you click on the save button, then it will go and save the details in the record level. We can see the action immediately on the contact record. So let me click on the save button. So as you can see here, we can see the success message that we declared in the LWC component. The title got changed, and you can see the last name also got changed with along with the phone number. So this is the process that we can use it for updating any object records. All we need to do is use the LWC component that we used in this video and make the required changes, and we can proceed further. And hope you guys like this video, and if you guys have any questions, you can add a comment there, and also you can add comment below the video. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.